This is the HaltingWinter Podcast. I'm your host, Seth Winterhalter. HaltingWinter is here to help you, a passionate, driven person, launch, build, grow, scale your business. We want to help you not only make more money, more profit, be more successful. We want to help you enjoy doing it. Here's the thing. If you're a business owner, you should enjoy life. This is why you're a business owner. You want to escape the 9-to-5 grind. You want to enjoy life. You want to have control over your schedule. But man, let's be honest. How many of you business owners are overwhelmed? You are so overwhelmed. You are working harder than you would in a 9-to-5. You are stressed more. It doesn't have to be that way. That's not why you got into business. And so we want to come alongside and help. And we do that by helping you really look under the hood of your business and say, do you have the 6 primary parts? Are those 6 primary parts, from leadership to sales to marketing to your products and services to your cash flow to your operations and overhead? Are all those things humming? Are they in peak performance so that you aren't getting caught up in the weeds? You need good framework so that you're not in the weeds always, right? You can't have a business that's a clunker, that's always leaking, that's always making whining noises and belts are going out. That machine needs to be in peak performance so that you then can sit in a specialized chair and be able to do what you are excellent at and start bringing people around you who are more gifted. Instead of generalists, bring in specialists so you can get off the runway and really soar. We want to help you enjoy your work. And so if we can do that, hit us up, HaltingWinter.com. We're doing a 9-part series called Common Small Business Problems. This comes from an article from Lindsay Cox on the old HubSpot. The article is called 9 Business Challenges Every Small Business Struggles With and How to Fix Them. Well, I'm not giving you Jen's take on how to fix them. I'm kind of walking through and giving you an updated version on how I would fix them. So tune into the last episode where we went over number 1, finding customers. How do you find customers? And we said it's not about finding them. First, it's about identifying who they are. You need to articulate clearly the exact customer you are going after. That will play out it plays out in product development, plays out in sales, plays out in marketing. It impacts everything. The first thing you need to do is say, the very first thing you need to do is what is my product or my service? Have I clearly articulated my product? Like, what do I actually do that I can do well? And then I say, who does that product or service best benefit? Who is the person that has a particular problem, a specific problem that my product or service sells? And I need to know as much about that perfect customer as possible, because then in my messaging, in my sales framework, in my marketing, I'm going to be able to articulate right to them, grab their attention, and hook them in to what I offer so that I can actually help. Okay, that was number 1. Number 2, increasing brand awareness. A common small business problem is, how do I let people know I exist? How do I do this? So I would say this. Here's a few quick tips on brand awareness. First, what is your brand? Have you really thought about what your brand is? Have you taken ownership over your branding profile, right? So this is where, I work with designers and they offer a branding package where they sit down with you and go, who is your business? Tell us again, this comes back to the customer. Who is your customer? What is your product? Who are you really trying to target? Do you have a brand that's speaking to the customer that you're going after? If your customer is a 60-year-old male, you're not going to want to be crazy on the cutting edge of hip. Your brand is not going to speak to him. If your customer is a 35-year-old female who's a working female, she's not going to be interested if your thing is all, masculine and kid orientated. If it's a 30-year-old female who's a stay-at-home mom whose whole life is, very young kids, it needs to speak to something to her. So that's why brand awareness first starts off with you. Are you aware of your brand? Does your brand speak to your customer? Have you really taken ownership? And a brand is more than a logo. Your brand is your colors, it's your font, it's your all these things, the way your website is presented, brand awareness. So I would encourage you, first, one of the best things you can do is work with a designer And that design, I would actually say first, the best thing you can do is work with me to figure out how to articulate the brand that you want. Don't just go to a designer first. In fact, I would say that's where a lot of problems arise, is you go to a designer and that designer creates your brand. Regardless of your products, regardless of your customers, it's really their vision. And that's why I love designers, because they have incredible talent. But if you let them articulate to you, that's going to go real sideways for you, because now they have created a brand for you to live up to that you don't own whatsoever. You need to really figure out who you are, what your brand needs to say. You need to articulate that in a package and go to a designer and say, this is us. And that's where I think Halting Winter could really serve you, is we can be that go-between to say, and we work with a number of designers, so we already have those vetted for you, who's really good at particular things: website development, branding, packages, logo, colors, fonts, those things. We have those people. So come to us and let us help first articulate who are you? What's your brand? So then when we go to a designer and go create a brand package for this, we keep them in the bounds of, I think you're going off on your vision too much. Come back. This is what we're doing. And then once you have that brand, now that gives you guidelines, right? And so it puts up the bumpers. When you go bowling, it keeps you out of the gutter to let, Johnny, the intern, create your Instagram. And so now it's his brand vision. It's Lucy's vision for your Facebook page. It's Johnny, your graphic design, your web developer guy. It's his vision for the website. And all of a sudden have you ever, you'll go to a website of a company and you'll have this experience. Then you see him on Instagram and you're like, man, it feels like two different companies. That's because you have not built your brand out of a brand script. You have allowed other people are running your brand the way they see fit. And that's not going to help you with customer when you go to find your customers and try to draw your customers in. So what can you do for brand awareness? First, sit down with someone like me and really go over help me discover what our brand is. Let's take you through that process. Let's take you through a brand script and really identify who you are and what that looks like with a brand. Then we take that brand script and then we put that through the website. We put that through your Facebook page, your Instagram, whatever social medias you're going to use. We start to look at marketing. We start to look at every piece of material we have, right? Posters and print and advertisements, everything that's why then it becomes so easy to market, because you don't have to make decisions. Your branding package already has for you the fonts that you use. So you don't have to create fonts. You already know. You don't have to create colors. You already know what your primary colors are, because the branding package created those for you. So you know what your primary colors are. You know what your primary fonts are. You know what your language is. You know what brand has to do with, what's your motto? What's your tagline? Nike, just do it. That's part of a brand. Like, you really work on identifying what is our company name and if you're new, if you're like, man, I'm thinking about launching a business, this is one of the best things you can do. A lot of people get attached to their name, or they're like, this name really does something for me. I'm on LinkedIn a lot, and I'm trying to always meet new businesses to encourage them to even vet them, right? We have, like I just said, we have lots of graphic designers on our roster, people that we recommend to use. Tax people, all kinds of people that I'm trying to build a relationship with to vet so that I can recommend them when I work with small businesses and do consulting like this. It's amazing to me how many names are just so weird. Like, number one, they're unpronounceable. So it's like, I don't even know what that word is. It's just some foreign word that means nothing to me. It would have no compulsion to no draw to check that out. I have to click around and figure out what does this company even do? Not helpful, right? I'm not saying you can't have some creativity in it, but like for me, Halting Winter by itself, Halting Winter. I mean, okay, I understand that. Halting Winter, what is that? Well, it's Halting Winter Coaching and Consulting. Oh, okay. Like, I don't mind Halting Winter Coaching and Consulting. What do you do? Coaching and consulting. Oh, yeah, it's right there. Yeah, Halting Winter. Oh, why Halting Winter? Well, my name is Seth Winterhalter, and that's what I do. I halt winter. Winter can be cold. It can be depressing. It can be a period of hibernation and kind of pack it in and just hope you survive. Like, I don't think that's the way businesses should run. I think businesses should be summer. It should be shirts off, hair in the wind, convertibles. Let's go. Let's have fun. This should be enjoyable. So all of a sudden it paints a picture. Oh, okay. Now, that's why I need coaching and consulting in the name, because I can't paint the picture every time someone sees Halting Winter, right? I need it to be helpful right away. So it's the same thing. Is your name helpful? Or is your tagline helpful? Is it so insider that it only speaks to you? Those are things you have to work through when you want to increase your brand awareness. Number one, is your brand any good? Is your name good? Is your tagline good? Are your colors and your fonts and your logo, is it helpful? Or is it so is it so insider, so artistic that people are just leave scratching their heads? That may be great for your hobby, probably not great for your business if you want to last, if you want to be successful. So there it is, 10 minutes in, want to keep these short for you. So think about that when you think about increasing brand awareness. Have you done a good job actually making your brand purposeful and intentional, so that then when you are using it on the website, on the socials, wherever, in print, in marketing, when people engage with it, does it help them become aware of what you really do, what you really offer? There it is. If we can help, we'd love to take you through a branding process to really first work through your name, work through your tagline, work through who you are, and then help you with a graphic designer, figure out your logo, figure out your colors, figure out your fonts. And maybe you're already in that somewhere. Maybe you like your logo, but you've never thought colors and fonts. What is he even talking about? I'm telling you, a great branding package done by a really good graphic designer will help you so far down the road. That's why people are like, oh, why does a branding package cost so much from a designer? Because you use it for decades. You would use a brand. If you're updating your branding package every 2 years, something's wrong with your designer. They're not very good. A branding package really, again, if you want to have a really solid business, I think, where you create awareness by having the same thing. Like, oh yeah, it's that logo, right? Coca-Cola updates its logo every, 8-10 years probably. But again, 8 to 10 years. And then you little minor tweaks on it, little touches to kind of make it more modern, make it catch the eye again. But it's the same thing. That way people have awareness, they have familiarity with it. So make sure it's good from the beginning, or when you reset, if you need a hard reset, then let's do it. But let's be really intentional so that it can last. We want you to last, and we want your brand to really be a firm thing, to be able to continue to keep customers knowing who you are and to come back to you. There it is, HaltingWinter.com. Check us out. Let us help schedule a free assessment, and we would love to do what we can with you. I'm Seth Winterhalter. Hope you have a good day.